to be stopped before he and those who protect him bring judgment upon our nation. I'd like to ask Ellie Smeal, president of the Feminist Majority Foundation, to respond.
Well, it's breathtaking. Of course, he's wrong in so many ways, but you notice he doesn't believe in, when he was in the Freemen, whatever that is, society, in any laws. And here, Dr. Tiller followed the law. He was investigated repeatedly, and he didn't do all these clips which says he's wantonly doing things. It wasn't true. He was doing it because it was necessary for the life and health of the woman, and he was very careful physician. We have a fairy tale going on, Amy, that there aren't troubled pregnancies, that every fetus has a brain. I mean, some do not. What I mean that is they don't have a head that's developed. To carry that to term would only hurt the woman. We pretend that women don't have cancer when they're pregnant, and that the carrying it to term will kill her. We pretend. I'll never forget him telling me about a woman who he brought, had to fly in from Manhattan. She was a doctor's wife, and yet she had a fetus that was growing a tumor that would not only kill her, it would kill the fetus, and there was no possibility of survival, but he saved her. Why, in a civilized society, would it be necessary to fly her in from Manhattan? We have allowed ideologues to ignorantly discuss these things, and we have to have doctors, and he did. That speech he gave was in our group, was to our campus group, and he had film, slides, he tried to explain what all the medical reasons are for these terminations. And I really feel we need an education in this country so that commentators who, that was really a diatribe against then Governor Sebelius. It wasn't really about what a medical reason for abortion is. We've got to take this out of the political arena, and more doctors and nurses have to stand forth and say why this is necessary for women's survival and health. I mean,
I think it might surprise people to know that National Abortion Federation says Dr. Tiller is the 8th abortion provider since 1977 in 22 years to be murdered, to be killed.
Well, I think they mean by that is not only the doctor, but the healthcare workers. When you said that, remember there's been 4 doctors, but there's also been workers that in clinics that have been killed, and in this country, and there's been terrible terrorism. I believe this is domestic terrorism.
I want to end in Wichita with Dr. Shelley Sella. Your last conversation, we only have 30 seconds, with Dr. Tiller. Dr. Sella?
Well, he was on vacation. Yes. Dr. Tiller, last week when I was working in the clinic, he was on vacation with his family and with his grandchildren. Which, in retrospect, of course, I'm just so happy that he had that opportunity to spend time with his family, because that was so important to him. And we just spoke about a patient. We had a slight different view on how to care for this person.
We have 20 seconds.
And he just said, do what you think is best. I trust you, and I have confidence in you. And that's who he was. Wonderful, wonderful man.
We're going to leave it there. Dr. Shelley Sella speaking to us from Wichita, Kansas, along with Laura Schoenfeld, attorney for Dr. Tiller. Neither of them would come on camera in Wichita. We'll continue to cover this story. We've been joined by Dr. Susan Robinson on the phone, also work with him, Ellie Smeal, as well as Bonnie Scott Jones. I'm Amy Goodman. Thanks for joining us.